How you guys doing today? This is Darius from Down on the TV. Welcome to the channel. So today I wanted to talk about women being their own worst enemy. And I currently work in the healthcare industry. So I work with many women because the health industry is predominantly ran and employed by women, mostly 90%. Mostly 90% of the employees are women. So I deal with doctors, nurse practitioners, high level, low level, managers. So I deal with all types of occupations in the healthcare industry. So I deal with many highly educated and well paid women and lower paid women. And a lot of these women are single and a lot of them are very attractive. But the common denominator, what I'm seeing with a lot of women, whether it be their doctors or their cleaning ladies, they are their own worst enemy. They're too picky. They are too picky because I currently work with a nurse. She's a very beautiful black woman, very beautiful. But I come to find out, how black people, they age very gracefully, so they don't look as old as other races of women because black doesn't crack. So as long as you take care of yourself, you don't wrinkle. She's 36 years old and she still doesn't have a man. Very attractive, in good shape, very attractive, but she's 36. I'm like, in the past 15 years, you couldn't get one man? Not one? In this day and age, in 2024, you couldn't get one man? Do you know how easy it is to get a man? A good man who won't cheat. He believes in equality, so he believes in the equality garbage. He'll help you wash dishes. He doesn't mind not being the head of the house. He doesn't mind treating you equally. And yet, it seems that modern women are having trouble. A lot of black women and just modern women in general are having a hard time finding a man to be in a relationship with or marry. And I asked her, I said, because I wanted to know, did she have children? And she told me no, she doesn't have kids. She's waiting till marriage. I'm like, you're 36. Your biological clock, you already hit the wall biologically at 36. You're not going to be able to have kids within 2 years. That's a geriatric pregnancy and very risky. So she need to get a man like right now. But unfortunately, like a lot of women, they are too picky. They want this Christian Grey perfect man. Men have to check all their check marks. And if you don't hit all the check marks that they have, they exit you out and swipe left. And it's sad because a lot of women could make good girlfriends and wives, but they get in their own way. And there was a movie, Hitch, back in the early, I think it's 2003. It was a good movie with Will Smith in there. And Will Smith was a dating guru for men, helping men to be able to get with women that they desire, teaching them basically teaching them game. This was before pickup artistry was a thing, but he was a dating guru in New York City. And towards the end of the movie, when he got caught for his identity, he was the hitch guy who hooked up men with women. He was telling the women, he was like, you ladies, we're trying to help you get out of your own way. I'm helping men to save you from your own self because you women are afraid to truly be with a good man. You guys have unrealistic expectations. So you end up eternally single and then bitter towards men that men don't meet your expectations. So I teach men how to get past your defense layers and how to be able to open you up so you'll be able to accept a good guy. And that was a good movie. It really did. And that's the problem now. And unfortunately, there aren't too many men that genuinely care about wanting relationships and marriages because People don't want to date forever, they want to get married at some point. And a lot of these red pill dating coaches just teach about date, 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 date. You need to be teaching about marriage. You need to be, the end goal should be marriage and kids. But these dating gurus are just teaching people how to eternally date, which will cause people to be in endless failed relationships, which will cause women to be bitter and hateful towards men because they had so many failed relationships. And then women are in their late 30s and 40s becoming ravenous feminists because of so many failed relationships. And the men end up, the bottom 90% of men can't even get a good, attractive, fit, feminine, submissive girlfriend or wife because the women are too picky, because only the top 10% of men are getting all the good women, good quality women like Leo, Future, Drake, the rappers, athletes, movie stars, comedians, like all the top tier guys are getting all the women. And the bottom 90% of guys are getting either fat, unattractive women or they're eternally single jerking off the porn. That's the sad truth. It says over 70 some percent of Gen Z boys are virgins and never had sex. Now the girls, the Gen Z girls, they're getting sex regularly and easily. But the Gen Z boys, the teenagers and early 20s, the majority of them are all sexless. They don't know how to talk to women. They don't know how to approach. They have high anxiety. So it's sad all the way over. This is why back in the day they had arranged marriages, because it protected women from their own picky nature. So the father would pick the husband for the daughter, and she would get a loyal, good, honest man to be with and have a family with. Now, obviously, women are never satisfied. We all know this. No matter what, a woman's going to complain and be a little resentful that she couldn't get her Christian Grey. She couldn't get her Michael B. Jordan. But the reality is things were more stable and more honest, and it was more balanced and fair, where the father picked and men picked better partners for their daughters than the daughters would pick for themselves, because women pick based off emotional feelings at that very moment. They don't pick based off practicality, because they think about, oh, he makes me Future, even though he's been with thousands of women, he's so cool and dreamy, so I'm gonna just be with him. He gets my pussy wet, so I'm gonna be with Future, even though he's just gonna pump and dump me like every other groupie. And so a lot of black women are unmarried. And it's sad because there's a lot of attractive, well-educated black women, but that education causes them to be arrogant and prideful. And then they become super, super picky. And then they end up being like my coworker who's 36, no man, no kids, no family. And her expectations are super high. The check marks for a man for her is very high. He has to make 6 figures. He has to be very attractive in shape. He has to buy her a big, like I think she said like 6-carat ring, like over $10,000 ring. Like her expectations are high due to her education and her occupation, which is a crutch because some men are working towards something. So in appearance, they don't look like they're up because they're working towards their business. They're working towards something, or they're not in the clubs and bars. So these men aren't readily available. But it's sad, and it's society's fault for the destruction of it. But the real solution is for the men, at least, they can go overseas. But for the women, going overseas won't work out because if black women go to, let's say, Africa to get an African black man, those African black men want a submissive, loyal, obedient woman to be with. So a lot of passport sisters end up failing getting relationships because they bring their Western mentality overseas, and they end up, the men not tolerating feminism. They're not tolerating their high expectations and their rudeness and their masculine energy. So then the women just end up going back disappointed and complaining that they can't get a man, that nobody's paying attention to them. I'm like, why would the local men be with you if they have loving, loyal, good women who are appreciative of them? That's why a lot of passport bros are going to Africa. A lot of passport bros are going to Africa where they're realizing that, man, African women are the ideal women. They're submissive, they're friendly, they're educated. A lot of them have degrees and they're very beautiful. They're in shape. They're not overweight and fat with a bunch of tattoos and BBL like Cardi B and all these women. Now everybody's getting BBL. Everybody has tattoos. A lot of the African women don't have tattoos. They're naturally curvy and beautiful, feminine, fit, and friendly. So Africa can be the new gold mine for black men to get a very fit, friendly, submissive woman. So unfortunately for black women, they will have to humble themselves if they want to be able to get a man. And unfortunately, humility comes with a lot of social pain, and they're not willing to do that. No woman is. You have to basically force women to make the right decision, which modern men in the West don't have the will to do due to the government not allowing them to correct women's bad behavior. The men have to be the father figure and the lover at the same time to protect women from their own chaotic nature. So it's sad. Career women, they get in their own way. And there's no way to fix this without the system breaking down and restructuring, which I don't see happening. So a lot of men are going overseas and a lot of women are complaining about the good men not being around because they're all going overseas. Anyways, I just want to cut this brief. This is Darius from Down on TV. Please like, click, and subscribe. And I'm out.